guys, I hope you enjoyed the quick video intro. Now we're going to talk about who's getting the shoe. We're going to talk about the stock hits, and we're going to talk about numbers, and we're going to talk about resale as well. So the first thing we want to do when we do this is always finding out the major and minor chains that are getting the shoe beside Nike. In this case, what we have is Foot Locker, Champs, Foot Action, Finish Line, JD Sports, and then Hibbert. And then for the minor stores, like the smaller chains, we have DTLR and then Shoe Palace. Now, so far, these are the only ones that are confirmed. And our next step will be to set up our assumptions, because the assumptions are the most important part of this process. So what I'm going to do is this. Usually, I'm always going with Foot Locker and then Champs, and that's what I'm going to stick with, because when you look at it, it is harder to create some assumption when you don't really have information based on other retailers. So I used the Foot Locker app. So what I have is you have Foot Locker, Champs, and Foot Action. And then for Foot Locker and for Foot Action and Champs, it seems as if they're only going to get the shoe online. So I'm going to stick with that. So for Foot Locker and Champs and Foot Action, I'm going to give them about 30% of the total inventory. And then for Foot Locker, Champs, and Foot Action online, I'm going to assume that they're going to get a third of the total on the physical stores are getting, which is Foot Lockers in this case. And then for Foot Lockers now, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to assume that regular Foot Locker stores are going to get about 24 pairs per store, and then House of Hoops location may get about 100 pairs per location. Again, I'm trying to be conservative. I don't want to stretch my numbers too much. Now, based on my observations when I was doing my calculations, I found out that 254 Foot Locker stores in total were allocated. And out of those 254, you have 170 that are House of Hoops locations. The next step will be to just find our numbers. For regular Foot Lockers, it's going to be 84 times 24, because if you take 84 out of 254, you have 170, which is the House of Hoops, and 84, which would be the regular Foot Lockers. So you do 84 times 24, you get 2,016 pairs. That's for regular Foot Lockers. And for House of Hoops, you do 170 times 70, you get 11,900 pairs. And then we assumed at the outset that this was about, the allocation for the online was about a third of all that number. So I'm going to add these two together, and you divide it by 3. I get about 4,639 pairs. And I'll round it off. That's when I round it off. Okay? Now for the total for Foot Locker and its derivatives, and what I mean by this is like Foot Locker and Foot Action and Champs online and in-store combined. If you do all this together, you're going to add up all the numbers. I came out with 18,555 pairs, and I stretched that number to 19,000 pairs. Now, since we assume that this number is about like 30% of the total production for the USA, so the total production for the USA will be 19,000 times 3 plus 19,000 divided by 3, which sums up to 63,334 pairs. That's basically what I have. And then I conclude from this that for the entire worldwide production is going to be anywhere between 63,000 pairs to 127,000 pairs. Again, I don't work for this company, so when I do my numbers, it's all based on assumptions that I created. So I don't want to stretch these numbers too much, so I try to be within a feasible region. So I'm thinking anywhere between 63 to 127. So don't take my words as the truth. This is just a picture of what might be going on. Now, before we talk about resale, I want to say something real quick. I wrote an article that was like several days ago, May the 6th, in which I wrote a report on 20 low investment items you can resell to make some money. A lot of people want to sell like sneakers. Everybody want to get into sneakers. There's a lot more things you can do to make money. Okay, sneakers are, yes, this is what is trendy and everybody wants to get into, but when you do that, you bypass so much other things that you can resell to make money. This is why you haven't seen me post a lot of sneaker content, because I just kind of feel like everybody gravitates toward the same thing, and then other stuff get like pretty much overlooked. So I created a list of 20 extra items you can buy to make some extra income, and those are items that you don't have to spend like $100 or even $150 investment. Those are low cost investment items. Any like little things that you can sell to make about $20, $15, or $20 per items, and then you sell them in volume. So if you want to get access to that list, I'll have a link for it in the description. Now let's go back and talk about resale for the Jordan 7 PSG. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about pretty much the resale by size. So based on what I got, if you look at the table, This is what I got so far. I collected the data from like the last several days. So if you see a size 7 is giving you about $150 in profit, and a size 9 about 66, a size 9.5 gives you about 112, a size 10 gives you about 60, a size 10.5 about 83, a size 11 87, a size 11.5 60, a size 12 about 64, and a size 13 about 65. You can always go back to my website and read the entire chart. But here's the thing that I'm going to say. This is very dangerous, because if you use these numbers, you will think, oh, this is a good shit to invest in, so I'm going to get it, I'm going to flip it, I'm going to make some money. Don't do it. Because what I did was I went back and I looked at the data, and I used a logarithmic function to best capture what the data looks like. And man, when I saw it, I was just like, you know what? This is not a good shit to buy. Because I came up with an equation, and the equation was 452 minus natural log minus 80 natural log of time. The time is time elapsed since May the 6th. So this is where my data started. So if you use that to gauge the price, if you assume that May the 22nd, which is when the shoe comes out, this is 16 days since May the 6th. So if you plug that into the equation, your resale value based on now is $230, which means the shoe's gonna tank. Okay, the current resale value is $295, but that's a false positive, because the shoes has been like dropping. We've had like some odd values there, like there was $765 that somebody paid for. That's because it was too early. But as of now, the data is showing that the shoe is gonna tank. So that's not a good shoe to buy if you want to make some money. I wouldn't spend my money on it. I know it might sell out just because it might be limited, but as far as reselling, I wouldn't do it if I was you. It's not gonna be any good. All right. Now, this is all I have for you. If you want to buy the shoes now, I'll have a link for it in the description as well. But I wanted to give you a quick announcement before we wrap this up. Is I'm going to be giving away a pair of Jordan 3 Cool Gray. Okay, so if you want to win this shoe, I'll have the information for you in the description. If you want to win this, there's like a criteria. You have to be subscribed to House of Kicks on my website. So check the link in the description. All the details are there. So you're going to win this. So the subscription gives you access to early links and coupons. The subscription gives you a free authentication, sneaker authentication. The subscription also gives you my resale report on a lot of things that you can sell to make money. It also gives you much more perks, and the best is yet to come. The best is you can win this free shoe. You can win any other shoe that I will have periodically. So be sure to check that out. Check the link for how you can win this. Okay, so this is all I have for you today. Please, if you have any questions or any comment, drop it in the comments below. All right, thanks for watching. This is Ty from Master Kicks, and stay tuned for more stuff like this.